Have you ever gotten into a fight before? Not many people have, but I have, and that situation definitely changed how I think about certain aspects of life. Many other situations that you go through have a deep impact and change your outlook, and here are a couple examples. My first example is about me and my family and how we moved all around the country, but their support for us was still strong to me and my brother. We were born in Maryland and moved to Utah when I was about 5 years old, and my parents split up when we got here. We did a dual system, changed from house to house every week, and they still kept all their support around me and my brother, but that dual system doesn't work forever. When I was about 12 or 13, my dad's job wanted to relocate him to Florida. He wanted to take me and my brother with him, but my mom was just going to be left in the dust. It got put up to a fight. We had to be put in court and basically decide between my mom and dad. In that situation, I was kind of thinking where I wanted to live and not about my parents. But in the end, my mom ended up moving here a couple years ago and it all worked out. And from that situation, I saw that as long as you have two loving parents and a great support system, then it'll work out okay. The next story enlightened me on how I see other people. When I was in Utah, I was on a travel baseball team and traveled all the way to Cooperstown, New York, where there was 106 teams. The first couple days was just pool play, we're just going normal, we're playing how it is. We ended up going 10-0, making it to the last day of playoffs and championships. It was hard, tough battles, and we made it all the way to the last game to a team from Tallahassee, Florida, which is actually coincidental. In the last game, it went all the way to the last inning with a score 0-0. And we had bats last because we were the home team. So we got two people out, then they got somebody on base, and then they hit a 2-run home run. So we were losing 2-0 going into the last inning. Once we got to the last inning, we got one person on base, had another out, got another out, and then got another person on base. And we had one last batter up, 2 outs, down two people on base. See, this next kid that was coming up, he had autism, and it made the situation just a lot better for everybody in the story about it. So he had outbreaks here and there with his autism, but he still loved our team so much and worked so hard to be as great as he could be. When he got up, he hit a 3-run home run to end the game. It was a great situation for him and his family, and it made headlines all across Utah stories. That situation showed me to not make any excuses, because he had autism and never complained about anything, and he worked harder than other kids did. The last situation was what I wanted to talk about before, was the situation where I got into a fight. So in that situation, I was visiting Utah a couple years ago, probably 3 years ago, and I was going to a fair with a couple of friends. When I got there, we were kind of just looking at some of the concerts that were going to the different souvenir shops, and I'd stopped to take a break at the bathroom. So like normal park bathrooms, they're like brick walls all around it, and I was just outside waiting for my friends to finish up, and some kid starts walking towards me and looking at me. I had no idea who the kid was, never seen him before, and he started to get pretty angry. Out of confusion, I'm like, hello? And he started yelling at me like, what the F? Saying all this, and I was confused because I had no idea who he was. He pushed me and saying I was like talking to his girl, but I didn't live there, so I wasn't talking to anybody. And he pushed me again, and I tried to calm him down with words and say, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know you or who you're speaking of. He comes to try to push me again, and then he's coming like at me one more time. So I hit him one time right in his left cheek. He falls down, gets back up, spits at my feet, and then walks away with his friends. You see, that situation right there reassured me that I need to keep my physical shape in case that happens again, and also to practice some self-defense, because it is important. If you get into a fight, you don't want to be obviously the person on the ground. So like that situation, the situation with my parents, I learned to love them more because they showed only love and fight for me and my brother. And the situation with the kid, to not show excuses. Situations like these and other in life have a huge impact to better yourself as a human being. Thank you.